All right, guys, we are live here. We did a nice pregame show, Shane Larson and myself, part of the Scarlet and Great podcast, Scarlet and Great Empire, the network. And we had a lot of fun with that. And now we are here reviewing this big top 10 matchup that just went down with the Hoosiers. I don't know about you guys, but I am kind of exhausted after that. So post your comments. I see some of you guys coming in here on YouTube Live. If you're on Twitter, please jump over to YouTube and view us. Find us at Scarlet and Great Empire. But post your comments here so I can see them, and we'll see. I got one right here. First one: defense is hot garbage, and I think just about everyone would agree with you. You got no argument from me, J. Cole. It is. It didn't help that the offense really had maybe one of the weakest halves it's had this year. Maybe since the first half of the Nebraska game, but the defense certainly didn't play very good. The secondary has issues. We knew all these things coming in, and we knew Indiana would expose some of them, but we didn't know they would expose it like all game long. What's up, Maya? Hey, Tiger, get off, Tiger. I see you. Get off Twitter. Get over to YouTube and start making some comments. Time for you to start pulling your weight around here. All right. Maya, thank you for commenting. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what you said. Yeah. The Game Time Guru, Shane, who was with us, dial up a blitz or two something. You know, when they did that at work, there was a key third down where they brought the house, and it worked. And, yeah, you got to do something. It's like the defense isn't going to cover well anyway, so giving them extra people back there, nah, just send them on the blitz. Something. Penix is a real deal for IU. He's pretty good. I wonder sometimes we made him look better, but he's a decent quarterback. He's a good college quarterback. And congrats to Indiana. One half, not all game. I'm not sure what that means. If that means that when the offense was bad, or when the defense was bad. Johnny's my dad. Very cool. Very cool. Oh, more than one dad. That's weird. We did make them look better. Did we make them look better? I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think they're pretty good, though. I think they're good at that trick. That's a one trick. Look, this is the very definition of one trick pony. They didn't have any rushing yards. Negative rushing yards. Okay, expose the secondary one half, not all game. Okay, yeah. I mean, I don't think secondary looked great in the first half, but by the numbers, they didn't give up a ton in the first half. But they were there. Like, you could see that ball is there against them anytime we want to throw it or anytime Indiana wants to throw it. And we called that pregame, right? We knew that was going to be there. I don't like the fact that we outscored Indiana. We were outscored 53-21 in the second half against Rutgers in Indiana. Wow, there's a stat for you. And there's caveats and nuance to that, but that's not good. That is not good. Defensive line and backers look bad, need more pressure. I think that it was a lot of times the D-line was about to get home, and Penix got the ball out quick. Besides that, there were times, though, that I went like, whoa, it looks like they have all day to throw. Wonder if changes will be made. I don't know. See, this is the point. I don't know who you go to. It's not like we got a bunch of world beaters on the bench. Think about what's going on at the secondary. Sorry, I had to get a little go-go juice from my nice Scarlet and Great mug. Check that out on my Twitter. Actually, I don't know if the link's still there, but get a hold of me. I'll get you the Teespring store. Teespring Scarlet and Great swag if you want to Google it. But you think about it, we lost two secondary players. Johnson went and Amir Reap to a sexual assault allegation. Isaiah Pryor transfers, and then Cam Brown, who's maybe the best cover corner, injures himself. So I don't know where you go. I don't know. Are Latham Ransom and Tyreek Johnson and Bryson Shaw and all these guys, are they worse than this? I don't know. I don't know. Fields most certainly come back on fire throughout the rest of the year. I hope. It was not good at times. You think Proctor is going to be starting safety? I don't know if you can trust him at one high. He's really good down by the line of scrimmage. Well, pretty good. Struggled some today. Made some big plays today. I don't know. You could give him a shot at one high. I think we've done it before. See, I just don't know that we have. I don't know. We certainly don't have a Jordan Fuller. We don't have a Jordan Fuller. Yes, they're pretty solid. And Indiana played smart football today. They look motivated. Our second, they're a smart team. Yeah, PJ, they're a smart team. Did smart things, and like I don't blame. If I was Tom Allen, I'd say throw at those corners a deep 50-50 ball every play, especially when they're putting them on one-on-one. We said it in the pregame podcast. Go ahead and subscribe, like and subscribe to that. Find us however you stream your podcast. Look up the Scarlet and Great podcast, and they did exactly what they thought we thought they would do, except they did it more often than I thought they would be able to do it. You think that Fields hurt his Heisman race? I think Fields lost his Heisman race. I don't think he's in the Heisman race any longer. Call it whatever you want. I think Mac Jones probably won it today, or Fields lost it. However you want to look at it. He's going to have to go on another tear of 11 touchdowns and 11 incompletions. So I don't know that he can do that to get it back. Let's see. I heard. Oh, where did Megan go? Megan was in here, and I wanted to get. There we go. IU was definitely motivated. They're motivated. They're a well-coached team. They're a well-coached team. I'm ready to move on from Ryan Day and get Tom Allen. Just kidding. Fields tried to win the Heisman today, may have lost it. There were a few plays where this is what's weird about his performance today, right? He did some things today that I've been waiting for 2 years for, like seeing the blitz, not dancing around, just avoiding it and running, getting 12, 14, 16 yards, slide down, play again. Sorry about that. He hadn't done that before. But while he started doing that, he also regressed and trying to do some hero ball stuff and throw the ball while he's going down. Like freshman, never played football before, freshman in high school type of mistakes. And then had that play where he was getting hit, but it was still, an easier throw to Rucker or Farrell maybe in the flat and overshot him. Didn't look great. He didn't look great, but he showed progression. The thing is, you have to know about him is he was throwing a lot of times from a really clean pocket to wide open receivers to put up these video game type stats. That's why I was never quick to say he was the greatest ever, better than Dwayne Haskins. Now we're looking to see what he does when he's getting pressured, when the run game's not so great, although it was pretty good today. And he has to do everything. And you've seen he was starting to crack there. Do you think we can beat Wisconsin? Can, yes. Will, I don't know. Can, yes. Love the game. Cold sweats and all. We need these tests early. Yeah, you need you need to see what you're made of. And not a lot of surprises here other than we knew the defense had holes. I didn't know if we knew some players were that bad, though. Maybe. Yeah, Michael, maybe they are completely not focused. Maybe they listen. I always make the joke when they make a stupid play. I'm like, yeah, but their TikTok dances look really cool. Those are some really fire TikTok dances. Screw the playbook. Let's get on TikTok. No, everybody's got to have some fun, blow off some steam. But who knows? There are some times where you wonder. There's definitely mental mistakes because the athleticism is certainly there. Plenty to learn from. The thing is, there's plenty to learn from. There's been a lot to learn from. There's stuff to learn from in the Rutgers game. I don't know, if we're learning or we're just kind of like, we are who we are at this point, and we're going to have to let some stuff happen. Kerry Combs, I don't know, man. I don't think he's awful, but I wonder if schematically, if hopefully he gets better. He definitely looked like a rookie DC so far this year. Master Teague, yes. Master Teague, we found our running back one. And you know what? Sermon was really good in relief duty, too, over 6 yards a carry. But I thought Master solidified himself today. The yards after contact, I thought, was really good. And he even made some people miss. If Justin played a little better, the score would have been, if Justin played better, obviously we'd have a better cushion. Wouldn't help the defense. Defense would have still been porous. But, yeah, Fields takes care of the ball better. We're certainly, in a better position. How about after one? We got dodged a bullet, though, after one of the interceptions, getting the fumble right back. Why didn't we run the QB sneak and trying to pass off fourth? Well, reason being is because they knew it was coming, and Ryan Day's really good at running that little trickeration out of that formation. Here's the thing. If it works, which it almost did, he looks awesome. We can Monday morning quarterback him and say, why don't we just run the ball? But that one, I didn't have a huge problem with the call. It's, either way. If, yeah. It's one of those games. If it is, honestly, you can do that all game. If Penix is more accurate, then Indiana can pull this one out as long as Ohio State continued with some of its struggles as well. We're not used to these. Yeah, not in a while, not this early in the season, and certainly not against a brand name like Indiana. I got to get this one on here. I wish I could be. I didn't know it said that. I'll pull that up. That's a little odd. If somebody can stranger danger this person, first of all, they're on Twitter. But if somebody can stranger danger buzz this person, get them out of here. A Talenka, whatever that is. Obviously, the cornerbacks were better last year, but Hafley seemed to make a huge difference. I think you said it all, Dizzy. They were better, and Hafley was better than what we have. I think it's a double-edged sword there. I would, I would go kidnap. Maybe I get that creepy Anthony guy to go with me, and we go kidnap Jeff Hafley from Boston. I think that's the good plan right there. Indiana Creekwalker, obviously probably an Indiana fan. Thank you for joining. Let's just say it for what it is. IU look better than most thought, and OSU is still really good. Yeah, I thought Indiana was good. I maybe think they're even a little bit better than I thought they were now. And maybe Ohio State secondary is even a little worse than I thought they were now. And Justin Fields is maybe a little worse than I thought he was. Gosh, yes, Corey. Yes. And honestly, this is what's crazy to me. And people call me nuts. I think Jordan Fuller, any of these guys make huge, just turn the game around, right? And you're like, even Fuller, he's a free safety. He went third, fourth, fifth, sixth. No, he went 6th or 7th round, right, in the draft. You put him on this defense, I think you probably take away 1 or 2 touchdowns off of Indiana's score. He's really was that good. He was Steady Eddie, but also Steady Eddie undervalues what he was. I would almost take him over any player. I know it's crazy off of last year's team. Probably not, but man, I miss him. I feel like that's an easy ask. Asking for a Chase Young is just give me a Joe Montana. But asking for Jordan Fuller is not a huge ask, and I think it makes a huge, huge difference. Can I explain pick plays being legal? Yes. First of all, I'm not a football expert, but I will say this. You can't obviously block down the field as an offensive player, engaging the defensive guy down the field before the ball is thrown. Right. Now you can still run the pick play, but what you have to do is just kind of run your route and get in the defense's way. Right. On one of the plays that looked like a clear pick, Shaun Wade was actually engaging Fryfogle, and Fryfogle was just kind of pushing up the field while he's being engaged. So it worked out to our advantage. Instead of, I'm not a football expert, so I don't know the technique on what Wade should do there. But you can rub and brush up against people, get in their way, run your route to get in the other defender's way. They've been used for a long time, but you cannot be super obvious about it. You can't be like basketball and just run up and, plant and check somebody. You can bump within 5. Yeah, I think you can bump within, I think 5, but I don't know still that you can like actively engage. Maybe you'll have to check me on that, but yeah, you'll see most of this go as long as there's not huge engagement. If it's just getting in the way. Most run routes and picks I've ever seen by game in Indiana. Most were clean though. Okay, I like right, wrong, or indifferent. I like it when a fan is like not just going to blame the rest the whole times. Let's see. Point with Young Bosa the first time 2000. Yes, first time since 2013, which we're spoiled, right? That we haven't like just had a cheat code on the D line, and now we're having to like do what every other team has to do and just get to the quarterback in normal ways. That fourth down was definitely OPI, 100% engaged, looked entirely like blocking. All right. I'm not going to, I need to go back and look. Technically illegal then. Outscored 53-28 in the second half versus IU and Rutgers. The pick 6 I forgot to add. Still not great. Yeah. Engaging is illegal. Okay, so that's down the field. Are you talking about within 5? Yeah, you can't like actively. You can't be the offensive player and just start blocking, right? You can rub and bump, but you have to kind of sell it, right? As well as yeah, I kind of saw that too. I felt like there were times. I don't think he's a really good cutback guy. I think he takes the hole that he is given, and when he gets north and south, his yards after contact, I love it how he can get hit and be brought down and get 3 to 4 to 5 more yards. He made some guys miss with a nice little like delayed spin move or whatever you want to call it, and then he makes some nice plays with just his power. But yeah, I mean, there's more meat on the bone on some of these runs for sure. Game was won in the second half. Defensive coaching staff fault for this game. We didn't use tempo and get IU tired. Yeah, there's probably some things that could be done differently there. You can't impress. Yeah, that makes sense. That absolutely makes sense. Press coverage, bumping and running. Yep. That absolutely makes sense. I was pleased with Teague. He's really starting to figure out what the juggernaut. You're right. Yeah, don't get cute. Just go. I think we found running back one. I want to ask you guys this. I want to see this in the comments. You get one player off of last year's defense not named Chase Young. Who do you pick? One player. Can't be Chase Young. It can't be the guy who got home every single time he wanted to. And so who would you guys put on the field off last year's team to make this team better? OSU Cage, easy money. He says Okuda. Yeah. I mean, you're not just going to throw at him all day. Now, at least you know who you're throwing at, right? Whoever's you're throwing the ball to whoever Okuda's not guarding. Yeah, that's pretty easy. Okuda again, another Okuda. Okay, let's see if you get this right. I gave you the answer earlier. Who do you go to if it's no Okuda, no Young? I think you guys will get this. Arnett. There's one for Arnett. I don't think so, but he would probably be making this team better right now. You imagine, think about this. Damon Arnett would probably be the alpha corner on this team right now. That's crazy. There you go, Michael. Jordan Fuller. That's the correct answer. That is the correct answer. Crowley comeback, Teague progressing at running back. This room is now strength. I think so. At least depth-wise, right? I don't know if we will continue to block the run game as well as we did today, but the depth is certainly going to be really good. And then next year, when you got Travion Henderson and Evan Pryor's no slouch coming in, I mean, as freshmen, obviously things take some time, but the depth is going to be really, really nice. Let's see. What's Dizzy got to say? Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, right. Corey and I talked about it on the pregame, not the pregame show, but the podcast. We knew it. And like PJ says, if we knew it, like if us clowns know it, then the coaching staff and the players know it. And they're not always getting torched. There was I think Fryfogle got behind Hooker once really bad, but Wade's not getting torched. He's just getting mossed. That's just kind of what it is. Fuller was the cleanup. Nothing got past him. No, it really didn't. See, we aren't last year's team. I wanted to do this on a podcast. If Corey will do it with me, I don't know what show we can fit this in. How bad the 2019 team would beat the 2020 team. I think it would be a bloodbath. Let me know what you guys think. Championship caliber, I don't know. It's hard to watch this team and with all the holes in it the last few weeks and for me to say they're championship caliber. I will say they're good enough to get a shot, right? They're good. I think they're top 4. And I think it might come down to with a Clemson, with a Bama, who's uglier that game. Who plays the uglier game or who plays the cleaner game? Right now, I think Bama would dice the secondary up, and I'd give them an edge. I'd have to watch more Clemson. Obviously, they lost their one game without Trevor Lawrence and some other starters. PJ says Okuda, easy choice for most people. As I mentioned, okay, Timmy, what do you got? Our numbers don't look terrible for Teagan Sermon today. No, they don't. Both over 6 yards a carry. I'm far less impressed with either of these guys than this year than between those two and our DBs. Yeah, I mean they definitely are taking some time to get going. That's certainly true. There were times I thought they looked really good against blitz, and then there were other times. Look, I mean this O-line's not been great this year. We know that. Pass pro has been better in run blocking, but yeah, the blitz was coming, and we did have trouble with it at times. Sometimes I thought they really picked it up well. I think Indiana, and this is part of it, the other times we didn't do well, and Indiana's is really good at it. When you've done it to everybody and you've done it to Ohio State, you've done it, you're good at it. Master Teague was the third rated pass pro running back before this game, and even he had his moments struggling. So they're just really good at it. It's like, remind me of Brent Venables. I don't know who's if my Indiana guy's still watching. Let me know about your defensive coordinator. He calls some really a lot of A-gaps blitzes, but he had to look like a corner or a safety. One of the guys coming kind of had like the blonde cornrows going, who was a heck of a player, causing some havoc for us. So yeah, that they blitz, and they were very good at it. They did it from different angles, and I would have liked to see no line do better, but they kind of are what they are with this point. 2019 50. I don't know if it'd be that bad, but can you imagine what Devon Hamilton would do to Josh Myers? What Devon Hamilton would do with Josh Myers and Harry Miller. Oh, Bill, get on YouTube. If we clean up the secondary, even just a little, we'd be solid. Not great, but solid. I could probably go with that. Backfield. By the way, make us talk about the guys that aren't here anymore. We can talk. All right, Tommy. Let Mayan Williams eat. Yes, we need to let the horses run. Let the dogs eat. We need Mayan Williams out there, and that would Mayan Williams playing running back would probably fix the secondary issues, right? Do you think we will ever play? Now, Michael, I hope you're asking about this year, and this is a fair question. Do you think we'll ever play championship caliber football, or is this who we are now? I think this is for this year, this team. It's a great question. I've been thinking about this. Part of my brain that goes, no, this is not their top 14, but I don't see them beating Alabama or Clemson because of these huge holes. But then there's also a part of my head that goes, even though the season's short, people do evolve over time. And I go back to 2014. I mean, that team squeaked out at Penn State. That team squeaked out. I mean, that team struggled with Indiana for a while, and it wasn't a good Indiana team like this one, not as good until Jalen Marshall just went off. And granted, that team changed shape completely, I think, when Cardale Jones took over, and we don't like have that type of dynamic probably going to go for us later in the year. But that defense certainly changed shape later in the year. It's possible. I don't know if it's likely, but it is possible. I think that's a great question. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty evident this year. And we found that Bill finally came over to the correct platform. Thank you very much. So this is I want to know 2014 definitely gives us hope. I want to know if any of you guys go back and rewatch the game. I do it a lot, and I realize like you don't. I try to do it for the podcast before we do our real post-game show. You realize like what you saw at the time wasn't exactly what happened. You take the emotion out of it, and you get to see kind of what was going on. I try to do that. That'll be interesting to do with this game. A lot of times you'll watch and you'll think someone was awful, and then you'll rewatch and you're like, yeah, they're not as bad as I thought they were. I know a lot of you guys are Buckeye junkies, and I know a lot of you are going, watch the game twice? I don't know. I don't know that big of a junkie. I think it's fun. I kind of have to. Like I said, I'm not a football expert, like a guru, like a coach or anything, so I have to like do the work to watch more than once so it can at least be somewhat coherent about it and try to be a student of the game and learn more. But if you guys jump on YouTube, there's somebody that does these games. They condense them down to 40 minutes. I don't know if they've been as consistent this year. I use the DVR, different things like that to kind of rewatch the games. Do you think the lack of spring ball is a factor? So this is what I say. Yes, but no one has spring ball. Right. That's probably why everyone's a little bit sloppy at times. I think it's a factor, but I don't think you can lean on it as a crutch. But there's probably 2 or 3 things that we see now that would be cleaned up if we didn't have, or that if we would have had spring ball. I would like to think. I don't know how much improvements made in the spring. Another point, they had 40 practices before the season. 40. They have 40 practices to work on stuff. Sometimes I just wonder how much of it is just talent or lack thereof. Are we playing more man or zone? Seems like last year was more zone-based and helped a bit. I'm not super sure. It looks a lot like man. Again, I have to go back and watch and maybe have somebody that knows more about football talk, go through it with me. But it looks like zone. It looks like a lot of press or that lines this game. It looked like we lined up at press and bailed right before the snap sometimes to protect the corners. Yeah, I don't know if you got the guys to play press coverage this year. But then again, the other games, they were bailing a lot and still giving up stuff underneath. So it's like pick your poison. Do you let them, I feel like maybe this game they did say, hey, you are going to have to go be alphas. You're going against good quarterback, good receivers. Go body to body with them, and you're going to have to win some battles. And guess what? We didn't really win many battles. The other games, it looked like we played off and tried to protect them. Honestly, I don't hunk this game. Helps prove that the Big Ten is a strong conference. Wisconsin is looking the same way. Yeah, well, see, in reality, I think it is a strong conference because these teams are playing close to each other, meaning there's depth. However, people will spin it to say, like in the SEC, if teams play close, it's not because neither are very good. It's because both are excellent. So I just kind of pick your poison. Right now, I think Mr. Ohio said that Wisconsin would be the second best team in the SEC. I think that's probably true. I don't know exactly how good Texas A&M is. The exact Greg Schiano defense that killed us in 8. You were yeah, Schiano was either 3 and out or a touchdown. Yeah, no, I got you, Bill. I was like messing with you. All the teams in the Big have very little practice play time. We have level playing field with no crowds, no home field advantage. Yeah, I felt like the crowd was weak today. What did you guys think? I'm really disappointed in you, Buckeye faithful. PJ, you're a Columbus person. I'm sure you were there. You guys need to do better. Julian Fleming, good effort. Yeah, I mean that's got to be something, right? That was like your heart just, you're still infuriated at Justin Fields, and then when he makes that strip and we get the ball back, change of possession, get the first down. I don't think we did anything with that drive. That's the other thing, guys. We're talking a lot about the defense, but the offense, 7 points in the second half. And I know part of that is situational, right? Part of that is Ryan Day knowing the defense is struggling, trying to get them some rest, calling the game with less tempo. I know he's probably playing handcuffed a little more, right? He's probably playing handcuffed a little more, so that slows the offense down. But it still wasn't that great. And with the run game finally going and a balanced attack, finally we have run and pass going finally for once. I felt like we should have been able to do more. What really hurt too is no kicking game. Not having a kicker you can trust. Then you at least get probably 2 more field goals. Then instead of saying you score 7 points in the first half or second half, you score 13. Looks a little better, takes a little pressure off the defense. The offense wasn't great, but I understand they're playing situational football. Makes it maybe a little easier to swallow that pill. The freshmen do seem to have heart. Yep. No pass rush makes the DBs look worse than they are, maybe, but it is just kind of jumped up, some jump balls that they're just getting mossed or just getting smoked when Hooker got smoked on the one. I will say John Cooper probably graded excellent in the pass rush. They're just not sacking the quarterback much. He did a good job of getting the ball out. But there were a few plays where I'm like, man, he could have ate a sandwich back there. No, I don't think so. I think his ceiling is. I think he could be a backup. I think he could be a serviceable backup in the NFL, maybe, and that's with improvement. Maybe with now that like really gimmicky offenses where offenses are changing in the NFL and taking on more college type of, little gimmicks and runs and stuff like that. If he was mobile enough, you could do extra little stuff with him, had a great defense. Maybe you could run something with him for a few seasons, but I don't tend to think so. What do you guys think? You think Penix should play in the NFL? What playing handcuff is what playing? Yeah, I mean, yeah. JK having ankles, a bum ankle, that kind of messed it up for sure. All right. Too many long developing. Yeah. Well, it's like we got spoiled, right? Now the weirdo's back. It's like we got spoiled a little bit, right? Where Nebraska and the other games is, okay, you want to blitz, we'll pick it up with the running back, and we'll wait 1,001, 1,002 touchdown Olave. 1,001, 1,002 touchdown Williams, whatever you want. We got to kind of like Justin Fields' deep balls, right? It was just insane. This game, when you're facing a really good pass rush, maybe not with the front four, but everywhere they blitz and such, you can't do that. You just got to kind of counter. I was disappointed in Fields' ability to see like the vacated area of the field where the blitz came from and just popping the ball right there and getting the easy first down. So, yeah, good news on that. I think Ryan Day is just the genius to implement that new game plan. Pocket presence, very good. Jalen Hurts or I think Hurts because he is a more dynamic runner. I think, yeah, I'm going to have to go Hurt. Well, but then you could come back right though and you say, well, the quarterback's a throwing position and isn't Penix a better thrower? Well, maybe he at least is good at that arm punt. A little bit of Trace McSorley-esque at that. I'm going to lean Hurts. I don't know now that you're doing this. Now that this is the odd thing, right? I look at Penix and I go, hey, he looks good, but just okay. But then everything he does just keeps working. And I see his misfiring, and then I go, see, he's not that great. He's misfiring. And then he ends up making a play, throws for 400 yards. And I'm like, well, I still don't think he's that good. And then I look at this and I'm like, well, results matter. He is a hard one to figure out. Next year is something to watch. I think Hooker possibly loses his spot. Yeah. I don't think anybody would fight you on that. I don't think anybody would fight you on it. There we go. There's a weigh in on the Hurts thing. Our offense seemed predictable, long developing play. Yeah, like Anthony was saying. look, you want to blitz, we're going to try to beat you deep. Well, you can't always do that. And again, I think playing handcuffed a little bit, trying to just do certain things. And I think trying to, bleed a little clock, that type of thing, made it a little worse than it was. I think Penix is elevated with the air raid system that those three dynamic receiver. Question. Who's receiver 3 over there? Was it Davis? What was his name? How do you guys think Filer and Fryfogle would stack up right now on the Ohio State roster, right? Because those are some pretty good receivers. It's hard for me to believe, and I'm probably blinding you guys a little bit. Let me turn that down there. It's probably hard to believe that they could displace Wilson or Olave, but they would certainly. Those are really good players. They would be in the rotation. That's the question, Michael. This is what I like to call the Isaiah Prince effect, right? We watch Isaiah Prince play and we go, well, how bad's the backup? How bad could the backup be? And if you're like, well, it's pretty bad. And you're like, well, this guy's last place in the country. And the next year was a little better, but still not great. And the next year he was a little better, still not great. And it makes you go, why do you trust him the most? And then you're thinking, he doesn't even seem Ohio State caliber. How is his backup worse than that? What have we been doing in recruiting? And again, at Ohio State, we lost the 2 players to misconduct allegations. Plus, we had Isaiah Pryor transfer and Cam Brown go down to injury. I mean, that's 4 players in the secondary. That's huge loss. But the question remains, how bad is Lathan Ransom and Bryson Shaw? How young and green are they that you can't trust them over Hooker right now? I certainly think we saw Tyreek Johnson a little bit last week and it didn't look great, right? So, Legend Cavazos, Ryan Watts, I mean, they're freshmen, and you're really going to throw them out there? I don't know. And again, do you just, right in the middle of a game, do you just go, okay, 7, you're done. Go get them, Tyreek. Even though I think you'd probably do the same thing. Now, I think you kind of rest with the older guys. But that is a really good question that makes you think. Yeah. Just imagine if Ohio State had a secondary. What plays DS and Fryfogle would be a nice thing. Yeah. No, I think you pretty much nailed it there, Anthony. Brandon White to Rutgers. Yes. Yeah, that's a good point. I think I heard there may have been some attitude issues. I'm not sure. I don't want to throw attitude issues out there at a kid when it's I don't actually know, right? But I know this: the dude could play football. When he wasn't in the doghouse or whatever with the coaches, and he got out there, the dude could play some football. He certainly could. That would be a nice. Now, what do you do with him? Do you put him put him, I don't know what you do. You put him in the slot and put Proctor at the 1 high and try that, or I don't know. I really don't know, but it's one more man in the rotation that you think is a pretty good player, the Proctor type of player. So that's going to be it, guys. We need to shut it down. We went long, but you guys, that was really good engagement. Do me a favor. Get on our YouTube channel, Scarlet and Great Empire, like and subscribe. We're going to have videos coming, right? And then also follow us on Instagram, Scarlet Great at Scarlet and Great. Follow me on Twitter at Scarlet Great JL. Follow Corey at Scarlet Great CT. What else? Shane Larson, the Game Time Guru. Follow him. And subscribe to our podcast, however you stream it, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And keep this interaction going. We love it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Go Bucks.